Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, January 14th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about this tool and how it can be used to make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Before I get to the stocks, real quick, want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm actually offering this evening. But with that being said, I totally understand if you already have something on your schedule, or maybe you're watching this Friday morning, for example, and you've already missed the class. But if you are interested, still just drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, because the event will be recorded. So after it's recorded, and after I get it uploaded, then I can send it to you. Or of course, if you can make it live, then yeah, definitely get signed up. But like I said, if you're interested in taking this tool that you're about to see to another level and start to learn how to build consistency with it, then certainly get signed up for the class, or just drop me an email. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box to get signed up, or if you're watching on my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. But like I said, if you're not able to make it, or if you just flat out missed it, then definitely still drop me an email. Before I get to the stocks, a couple clarifications. First off, I will be doing the 30-minute time frame, meaning for the beginners out there, each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. Next, the market is still open for just a few moments longer, so you're not crazy, but that candle right there will still be moving. But I like to do these videos when the markets are still open, because sometimes we can capture some really interesting action live. But as far as the overall levels and such that I talk about, they'll still be completely relevant as we head into Friday. But first one here, BBIG. This will mean more to those of you that watched the video previously. I talked about this one and talked about how volume was coming in, and the big question going forward was, okay, is this some sort of leading indicator? Is there more momentum to come? And yeah, we got our answer today, and there was a whole lot more, so much so that it got up and just crashed through both areas of resistance. So I mean, like I said, not only did it go up, it just was busting through these levels like they were nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those as they've served their purpose. But moving into Friday, let's map out a couple of the new levels to watch. So the newest level of support, so if you like to play pullbacks, an interesting level right down there around $3.30. And then if you like to play the breakouts, I'm going to squeeze things down here to offer up a bit more context and to show that it's been a long time since the price. Oh, I didn't realize that long. There we go. It's been a long time since the price has been up this high, with the next overarching level of resistance right up there at $3.85, which is essentially that gap close location right there. So that's where the price basically came up, closed the gap, and then got rejected back down. Not that it's going to keep going back down, but that is why that would be, that next key level of resistance. But all in all, very nice move today. So let's see how it continues to play out on Friday. Next one here, SPCE. Couple reasons why this one's relatively high on the watch list. First off, it's a very well-known stock. There's even somewhat of a cult following behind it. And when you have stocks that have the cult followings, that could just get absolutely destroyed. And today, this thing was absolutely destroyed. Big gap down first off, and then even after the gap down, the thing has bled and bled and bled. And as I speak right now, the price is even threatening going to even lower than what it was. But with that, and this will mean more to those of you that have traded for a while, but if you've seen very well-known stocks get beat down this much, of course it's not a guarantee, but it's a valid thought to have that, this thing could get a very worthwhile bounce back in the upwards direction. So moving into Friday and then next week, very curious about that trend line right there. Now, let me be very clear. There are no guarantees. So I'm not saying that if the price comes up to that trend line and breaks through it, that it's for sure going to make some sort of great bounce in the upwards direction. But is it at least a plausible? Is it at least a logical thought process to have? Absolutely. So if you do like to try to play, bounces as a trader and look for some sort of, confirmation points of a reversal, then in my mind, that trend line there makes it very interesting. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, no doubt about it. A highly followed stock, beat down quite a bit. Let's see if there can be some sort of worthwhile bounce over the next few days. Next one here, AMC, and I mean, no need to beat around the bush. Not a good day at all. And those of you that have watched past videos will know exactly why I say this. Not necessarily just because it had a red day, but because the price not only broke down through that level of support, but it just kept on going and going and going. So a very brutal breakdown through that level, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line as it served its purpose. But the first update that comes about is just based on a foundational rule and chart, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of attempted, bounce back in the upwards direction, then it's going to be all about that $22 mark and whether or not the price can actually get up through it. So keep a close eye on that. And then as far as next potential areas of support are concerned, the next very important one to keep an eye on, which I think it's basically bouncing around right now, actually a little bit even below it, but it's still within the vicinity of $20.75, which is this low from several days ago right there. So if this price continues to get separation down through that area, I mean, just to add a bit more perspective of what that's doing, I mean, that is putting the price down through that level also. So yeah, okay, now it becomes that much more important. I forgot about that point right there. So we have that point, we have that point. So if the price drops down below that green line and separates, then like you said, it's been literally months upon months upon months since the price been, as you see here, down around that area. So as I speak right now, this is at a very pivotal area, very important level. So we'll see if the price can maintain around 2075. But the further down below it gets, I mean, that's just more representation of the bears taking back over. Next one here, F for Ford, and a great day today. Although with this late day pullback, things are getting very interesting, and very interesting relative to what? Well, let me get this. Actually, let me just get rid of that line there. It served its purpose. But there's the other rule in charting is when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. And what makes this interesting now is check this out. As we speak, and this is why I like to do these when the markets are still open, the price is coming down here. Let me extend that out a little bit to this former area of resistance at $24.75. So in my mind, that's a big question mark moving forward. Is what's going to happen here? Is this thing going to just continue to crash? In that situation, you know that there's going to be shorts, people that play puts. They're going to be very interested in that dynamic. But to be fair, maybe this thing comes down here, does a classic back test of the breakout, and then continues upwards. So you're definitely going to have people from the long side that are very interested in that level too. The moral of the story, though, is that a whole lot of people around the world are going to be watching that 24.75 mark and try to make a decision on it. And that's why risk management and risk control is so important, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong. This is either going to turn out to be a fantastic opportunity to buy, to play some calls, or to go short, and play some sort of puts. But like I said, at the core, no matter what you think, the core idea here is that 24.75, very important level. So let's see how it goes on Friday. Next one here, BTCS. Talked about this one in the video from yesterday, and you can see here, had the bull flag, got the, the nice breakout that eventually went all the way up there. But now things have turned relatively nasty. However, this is a very tricky chart to now talk about because it's all about perspective. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought, right there, or maybe you're trying to buy the dip right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well, then from that angle, the chart looks absolutely terrible. However, if you care about things from the big picture, then even with this big pullback, look what you still have. Well, you still have a set of lows there, you have lows there, you have lows there, you have lows down there. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, what do you have? Well, from the big picture, you still have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. So from the grand scheme of it all, the trend is still in the bull's favor. But again, that's all a matter of perspective. The people that bought right there that were day traders definitely don't care about these stair steps. So I'm trying to make the distinction that is this a bad or good looking chart? Well, that really depends on your viewpoint moving forward. But yeah, overall, nice breakout, then a very nasty pullback. But let's see that from the bigger picture point of view, this overall uptrend can continue. Next one here, PETZ. You longtime viewers of the top 10, you know that we've been tracking this one for a while now. But if you have not and are not aware of it, just to build some context quickly, the reason why this remains fascinating is that not that long ago, this thing was up here in the $4 range, and then in a matter of a day, dropped all the way down below $1, and has now been just kind of starting to go sideways. But what I'm going to do is slide the chart over so we can actually make this a little bit easier to see. And today the price action gets very interesting because, okay, maybe, just maybe, this is some sort of leading indicator. Now, let me be very clear. Just because this thing has been beat down, just because the price has a little miniature uptrend right here, does not mean that guaranteed, okay, finally the bottom is here and this thing's going to explode to the upside. If only it were that easy. But it becomes more and more logical to start to think, okay, maybe this movement here is finally some sort of broader bottom that's forming. Now, yes, today it did go slightly lower than where it did here, but slightly lower is much different than the price coming down to that green line and then just completely collapsing down through it. No, it did break through it, but then started to uptrend back in the upwards direction. So again, does that mean that it's the bottom? No. Is it plausible? Does it have, some rationality between thinking, okay, maybe this is truly the bottom that's being, chipped out here? Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, these ones can go and go very quickly when they do. So that's why I'm keeping it on the watch list. And let's see how it closes out the week on Friday. Next one, ESGC. Nice movement here, and this is for you penny stock players out there. And the nice thing here, I suppose, a matter of perspective, not nice for the people that bought right there. But there, there's always the fear out there that traders can have, and it's a good fear of, I don't know, am I chasing? Am I suffering from Fomo? Fear of missing out. And in this situation, no, that fear would be eliminated because the price is pulled back. Now, the people that bought right there, yeah, they definitely suffered from FOMO, and now they're paying the price. But for those people that are still on the sidelines, this pullback could realistically be a nice buying opportunity. Now, maybe it's not, and of course, that's Why, as I've said, risk management, all that is important. But if you do like to play these pullbacks and play these situations where there's strength, right? I mean, there's no doubt about it that overall, this was a nice move of strength. Now the price is pulled back here and basically giving us, a bull flag pattern. So if you still believe in the bull flag pattern, if you still believe in the overall strength here, well then, if the price can pull down here to right around the 30.5-cent mark, as is shown previously, it's bounced off that area. That could be a nice little momentum, pullback entry point. So like I said, if you do like to play these situations where you like to let the price come down to you don't want to, risk chasing the price, suffering from FOMO. This is one that I would say get on the watch list, especially if you like to play penny stocks. Now, I'm going to keep this very quick because same exact principle to what we just talked about, except it's not a penny stock. But you can see right here, nice move up, and now we're getting a pullback with the bull flag. So like I said, if maybe you're like, well, I don't like to play penny stocks, but I like to play the situation that you just described, just not with penny stocks. Well, here you go. I'm clever, aren't I, to put two back to back like this? But so you got the move. The people that suffer from FOMO, they were buying up there. You're getting the pullback here. An interesting pullback point, definitely going to be that pink line there, which on my chart represents the very famous 200 period moving average, valued at 1460. So like I said, same exact premise as the previous one. The difference being this is just not a penny stock. Next one, AMD, started off very, very strong on the day, got the gap up, and then just has completely been rolling back over. And what I find interesting here is that a classic example of how supports tend to act as resistance. So that purple line's the 50 period moving average. Price broke below it right there. Then look what happened. Several times, price try to get back above that area and just couldn't quite do it. So moving forward, know that if there is any sort of upwards bounces, is that, let's just call it 135, the value of that purple line. That'll be the main area of resistance if AMD does try to turn itself around. As far as potential areas of support, if this continues to come down in price, next key level to watch very closely going to be right around the 131 mark. And after 131, next key level down there right around 129.35. But yeah, very rough day on AMD. We'll see if the bearishness carries into Friday. And then finally here, TSLA Tesla, and did this one several times before and drew that trend line into play right there. And I mean, you can see that opening 30 minutes, fantastic job of bouncing off that trend line. But then the bears gave it another try, and you can see from there, never really looked back as the price has bled and bled into the close here. So this is definitely going to be one that's, drawing a lot of eyeballs back to it because in typical Tesla form, it moved a whole lot today. And like AMD, if there is any sort of attempted bounce in the upwards direction, keep an eye on that purple line there, which you now know is the 50 period moving average, currently valued here on Tesla. Let's call it 1065. So that'll be the main area of resistance if there's any sort of bounce back upwards. As far as next potential areas of support are concerned, have a very interesting level right there at 1020. And then after 1020, next key level down there right around, which would make sense, the $1,000 mark, that big old round number. So overall, those are going to be the three main levels that I'm watching tomorrow as somebody that does trade Tesla quite a bit. Key level of resistance, again, 1065, and then 1020 and 1,000 as far as levels of support are concerned. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you're, now just that much more interested in this tool of technical analysis and want to learn more about how it can be used, how it should be used, and why it is such a powerful tool to build consistency as a trader, then get signed up for the class. Or like I said, if you're watching this on Friday morning, for example, and you've missed it, or if you're watching it and you're saying, sorry, I already got something on the schedule, then still just drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, because the event will be recorded. And then after I get it recorded, after I get it uploaded, then I will send you a link to it. So definitely don't think that you can't see it. You can just shoot me an email. But like I said, if you can make it, then definitely get signed up. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format and if you would like for me to continue to put these videos together, then let me know by doing two easy things. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment below. Say hi. Let me know what you traded today. Let me know what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things go a long way in communicating to me that you enjoy these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying, then I will continue to put them out. So definitely get signed up for the class or drop me an email. Everybody take care. Have a good one.